Fallen people, listen up. It's never too late to change your love. So don't let them steal your light. Don't let them break your stride. There's light on the other side. You'll see all the rain clouds falling. It's a revolution. Make it out tonight. It's a revolution.
Twerk it, baby. Can you see it? The worst is over. The monsters in my head are scared of love. Fallen people, listen up. It's never too late to change your love. So don't let them steal your light. Don't let them break your stride. There's light on the other side. You'll see all the rain clouds falling. It's a revolution. Make it out tonight. It's a revolution.
It's been so long that I haven't seen your face. Trying to be strong, but the strength I have is washing away. It won't be long before I get you by my side and just hold you, tease you, squeeze you till what's been on my mind. I wanna make apple of my eye. I miss you, can't lie. Watching every day that goes by. Till I get you back, I'm gonna try. 'Cause you are the apple of my eye. I wanna make up right now. I wanna make up right now. Wish we never broke up right now. We need to link up right now. I wanna make up right now. I wanna make up right now. Wish we never broke up right now. We need to link up right now. I want you to fly with me. Want you to fly. Miss how you lie with me. Miss how you lie. Just wish you could dine with me. Wish you could dine with me. One that'll grind with me. One that'll grind with me. I want you to fly with me. Want you to fly. Miss how you lie with me. Miss how you lie. Just wish you could dine with me. Wish you could dine. One that'll grind with me. One that'll grind. I wanna make up right now. I wanna make up right now. We need to link up right now. I wanna make up right now. I wanna make up right now. We never broke up right now. We need to link up right now.
She works the nights by the water. She's gone astray, so far away from her father's daughter. She just wants a life for a baby. All on her own, no one will come. She's got to save him.
Daily struggle.
She tells him, ooh, love, no one's ever gonna hurt you, love. I'm gonna give you all of my love. Nobody matters like you. She tells him your life ain't gonna be nothing like my life. You're gonna go and have a good life. I'm gonna do what I gotta say. So rock-a-bye, baby, rock-a-bye. I'm gonna rock you, rock-a-bye.
I've been heading down a one-way street, can't turn around. You've been taking every part of me, now you know where to be found. You got me confused, a little off balance, thought I knew you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with GEC eNASCAR NPC Cup Series. We're going to be at Charlotte Motor Speedway tonight. Going to be an amazing race, I'm not going to lie. Charlotte is a staple for the NASCAR series, and we all look forward to seeing what amazing work these guys can do on the track out here at this iconic track. To say the least, the pressure is going to be on. The last 2 races of the regular season, and these guys really have to punch that ticket to the playoffs to be able to make their way in to the final 10. Now, the final 10 will have 4 races to race it out to the championship, of eliminating 2 people per race. So that means that you got to get in, but the pressure isn't over. So let's see what these guys can do tonight under the pressure of only 2 races left. Looks like Coonan taking the top lap time right at the moment in the practice, but Barrow's not far behind in that number 4 car. These times are actually really close, so it's going to be quite interesting to see what these guys got. Tire wear is going to look really crazy tonight. We are looking for probably 10 or 12 laps before that actually starts to happen. Let's go ahead and go to the track map real quick. So it is still that regular 67 degrees out there, so it's not going to be too hot, but again, Charlotte is going to eat those tires away regardless. You might be able to work out a couple more laps with that. It looks like the pit strategy in this is going to be most likely around, I would say, lap 30 to 35, somewhere in there, where these guys are going to have to pit not only just for tires but for fuel. But I'm sure a lot of them are going to opt in to go in early for those tires. Maybe even try to trick the stage so they don't have to pit. But let's hope they don't pit too early, because it's really not going to be good if they come up to getting into this next stage and be maybe a lap down or so. Once you're in that final stage, it's going to be a lot harder to get a lap back if this does wind up going green flag the whole time. We do have Austin up here in the booth with me. Austin, what do you think about Charlotte, man? What's going to happen tonight? We seen what happened in the Truck Series last night. They had a couple mishaps, but it actually they did really well out there. What is our expectations for these guys tonight?
Yeah, man. I mean, we're coming off of a vacation, so I'm expecting to see that difference in those who practice and got out on the track in their free time, and those who might not be their fault, but they might not have had a chance to get out on the track in 3 weeks. And, again, we've been seeing all season, these Cup cars are a different beast, a different challenge for those drivers who are not necessarily accustomed to the car fully. So I got a feeling things might get a little spicy tonight. The combination of the lack of practice for some of these drivers, and as you were saying, that drive in these final 2 races to get into the playoffs might make for some uncomfortable situations. We're always hoping that we can get a clean start to the race. We always expect that the end of the race is going to have some fight in it. But man, are we hoping for a nice, clean, hard race tonight. See if we can get another driver punched into that playoff ticket.
Well, it looks like we are going to have a special guest in the booth tonight. The number 99 of Culleton will be joining us.
Heck yeah.
Right, as we're getting closer and closer to the start of this race, we have about 7 minutes to go. We're going to start pulling a couple drivers up for a few interviews to see what's on their minds here at Charlotte. Who was our last week's winner?
I'd actually have to go. I think it was Hanneman, but we weren't able to get the graphics together in time because I've been working till 10 o'clock every night, so I don't have a whole lot to show for this week. We will have it updated this weekend, but let me see if I can at least pull from some notes somewhere. I should be able to find that information for us.
It looks like the quality with the bandwidth is actually doing a lot better.
Good.
So I am super happy about that. We're going to have a great broadcast tonight. Super excited for anybody that tuned in. We do have a couple new drivers out there tonight. Well, no, I think we might only have one new driver out there tonight, and that's going to be the number 12 of Bryce Fontaine. He just came in this week into GEC, and we're looking forward to seeing for his rookie race what he has to put on the track. I'm looking forward to seeing him up at least into the top 10. So we're going to go ahead and pull... Let's go ahead and pull somebody we haven't heard in a while. Let's pull Fontaine. Alrighty, we got a link with number 12 of Fontaine. It's Jamie up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How we doing, boys?
We're doing great up here. We're really excited for tonight's race. Charlotte Motor Speedway is always one of the best tracks to come out and race, in my opinion. What are your thoughts tonight coming in as a fresh driver, and what are your expectations here?
Expectation would be to run up front. Obviously, I'm the new guy coming in, right, with 2 races left in the regular season, so I don't want to imply any championship implications on any of these drivers, but I'm definitely looking to try to make a statement tonight. Get this Eternal Mustang up front.
We are looking forward to seeing everything that you have to offer, especially here at Charlotte. But here coming up into the playoffs, these guys are going to be pushing hard for these last 2 races. This is the only chance to be able to punch their tickets into this playoffs. Are you looking forward to the playoffs, and what are your plans, and do you have like any teams you're looking at?
Well, I got an eternal teammate in Raymond Hammond. I know he's hungry. I know he wants to get this chip. He was a little skeptical of me joining. I appreciate that he thinks highly of me, but he didn't want me to come in and steal all of his bonus points. But I'll definitely be trying to looking out for those guys as much as possible. Again, Ray's a good friend of mine and a teammate over there at Eternal. So I'd like to be able to help him in any way I can possible. I know we got Talladega coming up next week, so I told him if we can make it to the end and still be alive, then I'm committed to his bumper. So we'll see what happens tonight.
Well, that's a hell of a dedication, and we look forward to see what kind of speed you guys can put on the track together next week. Thank you so much for coming into the booth, Mr. Fontaine. We're excited to see you out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to be here, and good luck to everybody racing tonight, and we'll see what happens here in 150 laps.
Yes, sir. Good luck to you too.
Yep, thank you.
All right, that was number 12, one of our rookie drivers. He does have a few drivers in here that he is in, sort of teamwork with, so we'll look forward to seeing what they can put together out here at Charlotte tonight. We are going to pull up a couple more drivers. It looks like we only have one driver for NPC Motorsports tonight, and that's Joseph Barrow. We're going to go ahead and pull the number 4 up real quick. So we do have a link with the number 4. This is Jamie and Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, sir. So Charlotte, big racetrack, obviously one of your favorite racetracks. What's your expectations for tonight?
It's gonna be racy. It's gonna be tight, close racing, and I'm kind of gonna try my best to lay back a little bit, wait for the tires to wear off, and then try to stay with that lead pack because it's probably gonna separate.
Well, obviously coming into the playoffs like we've been talking about, 2 races to go, only 2 chances left to punch the ticket for people that haven't won a race this season. That it puts you in that category. What kind of pressure is that putting you under to try to get out there and get that win?
I got 2 races left, man. I need a win here or at Talladega, and I mean, I've had a rough season and not where I'd like to be, but I got 2 chances at punching the ticket, so I'm definitely going to be trying my best here in Charlotte and at Talladega. I can't
Well,
wait for Dagan.
Yeah, Dega's going to be, as we all know, a 50-50 chance. You know, I'm hoping that I can be out there with you to push you to that finish, to push you to that win, man. But again,
Fingers crossed.
yeah, right. Fingers crossed. Absolutely. No, man. But we look forward to hopefully seeing you in the victory circle tonight. And good luck, Barrow. And just keep a level head and just stay calm. Keep off the gas, man. There's no reason to push it so hard that the wheels fall off it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I gotta save my tires best I can, and stay with that lead pack.
You're right. Absolutely, man. Good luck out there, and we'll see you out in the winner's circle.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
All right, we got enough time for one more interview. We're going to go ahead with the W Campbell of the 52. So we got the 52 up in the booth of W Campbell. Campbell, it's Jamie and Austin. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys. What's up?
Hey, buddy. So, obviously, welcome back from vacation, you know, here at Charlotte, one of the most iconic tracks in NASCAR. Looking forward to seeing what kind of show you guys can put on tonight. What are your thoughts about tonight, and what are your expectations?
Man, it's going to be all about tires. You got to keep your tires under you. After about 10, 15 laps, they start wearing out. It's real easy to slide up on the exit of the corner, so you're going to wear your tires pretty bad. But it should be a good race. We stick together pretty well, and I know in real life the Cup Series is one of their better tracks with the next-gen car, so it should be a pretty good race. We'll see what happens, though.
We're looking forward to a hell of a show tonight, but exceeding tonight, we do have 2 more races in the regular season to punch your ticket. Have you already punched your ticket this season?
Unfortunately, no, but it's either coming this week or next week.
Well, man, what kind of pressure does that put you guys under to get out there and actually just get in without points?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you don't have to worry about points if you win. That's nice. I don't know exactly where I'm at in points. I think last I saw was 13th or 12th. So I don't know if I'm in a must-win situation, but I'm going to treat it like I am.
Well, and again, I look forward to seeing everything you got. And do you think you're even going to be able to get on points if it came down to it?
We're going to try.
All right, brother. We'll see you out there. Good luck.
Yep. Appreciate it.
All right, so these guys are going to be shaking out for the qualifying laps right now. Everybody seems to be off the track, and we're going to watch a couple laps in with the 24 at the moment, which is sitting in the top spot. Looks like Brace Fontaine took that spot right away. But again, they still have a couple laps out there. Brace Fontaine, brand new again, came in for an interview. He's excited to be here, and we're excited to have him. Coonan, he's going to be right behind Curtis right at the moment in that 23. Barrow snatches the top spot away. But Coonan immediately takes it back. Right now, it shows out as Coonan, Barrow, Sprouse takes that 3rd spot in that 17 car. Haynes in the 4th. And that bumps Fontaine back to the 5th spot, which he's out there still running a lap. He might have just crossed one for a faster speed, but it looks like he's going to be resting in that 5th spot for the moment. And Caleb Ellswick takes that 5th spot away. 66, he's out there, just punched his ticket, I believe, last week. Yeah, did we get the podium for last week? Who was that? Or last race. I keep saying last week.
Yeah, I was able to find that. We are still finalizing 1 or 2 penalties, but as it stands currently, you're looking at Hanneman taking the race win, Rose taking 2nd place, and Barr taking the 3rd place position, pending any penalty decisions
All right.
there. So not bad. That is another win for Mr. Hanneman, and definitely securing himself a spot in the playoffs, though we all know he never feels secure. He is always going to race for that win regardless, but that man has been dominant all season. We know we're going to see him in the playoffs, and we know we're going to see him fighting for the title.
Oh, no doubt about it in my mind. Yeah, the broadcast is looking really good. I do apologize the last few races, guys. I had some technical issues I had to figure out up until this race. So now we are operating a little bit differently, but I'm hoping to create a better experience. If there's any issues, please just let me know in the chat and we'll take care of it. But thank you all for coming out after the holiday. Welcome back to the Cup Series at Charlotte Motor Speedway. How many laps we got tonight, Austin?
We got 150 laps with stage at 40 and 90.
150 laps. Woo! That is intense here at Charlotte, man, because you're burning tires off every 15 laps. These guys are really going to have to pay attention to those tires tonight. If you could, race control, just reiterate that to them before they go into it. Just let them, hey, don't screw up on changing your tires, because if you change a pair too early or you use one too early, you may not get a chance to win this race.
Oh, yeah. I'll be sliding into those final 20 laps.
Well, again, we have finished up with our qualifying. Top spots go to Thomas Coonan in the top spot, Lynch in that second spot in the 33, Joseph Barrow in the third spot in that 4 car, Sprouse in the 17 and 4, Dustin Haynes takes that 5th spot in the number 3. So as we're gonna be going to our national anthem here soon, we appreciate everybody showing up. Thank you so much for being here, and God bless America.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are about to go green flag
Sir Ellswick.
here at Charlotte. These guys are gonna have to be planning out their fuel, planning out their tires, making sure that they can make it to the end of this race, because it is gonna be door to door, coming out of 3 and 4. And we really expect a hell of a show out here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go as we come to the restart zone. Green, green, green. 23 on the outside, 33 on the outside, 23 on the inside with Barrow following right up. Coonan gets a decent jump out front, about 2-3 car lengths, but Barrow's not letting him get away. Lynch is on the outside of Barrow. They're going to be pushing that backstretch together. These guys are going to be double file all the way down the backstretch almost 4 times. But it looks like Coonan is up there getting away a little bit. These guys are not going to let that happen. These guys are definitely going to be pushing hard to try to catch up. As this is a very technical track, we're going to start to see people start to separate a little bit. They're going to actually not be as close towards like laps 10, 12, 15. You're going to start to see people really fall off at that time. Looks like Barrow lost a couple spots, unfortunately, with Lynch taking that second place. Barrow's going to fall back to 4th place at the moment, fighting with third with the number 3 of Haynes. But Barrow takes that spot, keeps his 4th position. Right behind the number 12 car of Fontaine. Here we go, guys. This is really going to start to get exciting as we start to get hotter tires. These guys are not going to be able to hold those lines as good as they want to be able to hold them, and we're going to start to see the real racing come into effect. These guys are doing really good. Coming back off of a vacation, these guys are making it look easy out there. We got Ellswick sitting there fighting for that 6th spot, making sure he can maintain that, but they are right behind him. Raymond Hanneman of the 85, making sure that he gets his spot back. They're down there fighting with Chris Campbell as well. Oh, a little bit of contact. Looked like one of the cars was out in the outside wall there for a second, but they maintained. Looks like the number 3 is riding the outside line. Looks like he's probably going to be trying to save some of those tires with the 76 right in front of him taking that position away. We got a lot of talented drivers out here trying to make sure that they get into the playoffs off of these next 2 races. This may be some of these guys' final chance to be able to punch the ticket with a win. So we're going to see a little bit more pressure and a little bit more aggression than we normally would. But oh, we got McMillan out in the outside wall right there, making contact with that outside wall, but he maintains his distance away from the other cars and they keep it going. A little bit of pushing from Whitehead back there, trying to make his way through the field as well. Whitehead's got that 24 of Chris right in front of him. As he goes to the outside, Chris electing to drop to the bottom. 3 car just maintaining his line right in the middle. These guys are putting on a hell of a show. Great, amazing racing out here right now, coming back after our Christmas break and New Year's. We hope you guys all had a great Christmas and New Year's as well with your families. We wanted to take that break to let our drivers just think about their family. So we appreciate everybody else coming back to watch the broadcast and come out to watch these drivers put on a show, and that's exactly what they're doing. As we have Thomas Coonan, who's still going to be out front at the moment, but he's being ran down. He's got 4 cars behind him, so he's not out in front like he was with that 5 car lengths. Barrow back up, it's still into 4th place. But he's now up towards that front pack, looking like he wants to jump up into the third. Lynch is going to have to make sure that he doesn't wear those tires off. Barrow seems like he knows what's going on tonight. Keeping that level head like we talked about in the interview before the race. Hopefully he can keep those tires cold and these guys can give Coonan a run for his money. Let's go ahead and ride around with Mr. Fontaine himself. See what it looks like from his perspective. As you see, that brake point is right up there near that wall. Normally it's before, but coming into the Charlotte, you got to keep that wheel straight coming into that corner and then sort of drop down into it, or else you can get that back end a little squirrely. These guys are holding great lines. He is definitely giving Coonan a run for his money as he's only 0.2 behind. And then Lynch is only 0.1 behind him, and Barrow is right behind them as well. Let's go ahead and ride along with Lynch for a moment and see what he's got going on. Right. Oh man, he is right giving the 12 a run for his money at the moment. A little bump and run right there, trying to get him out of the way. Seems like the 33 of Lynch has a little bit of a faster line at the moment. But that's going to slow him down a little bit and allow Barrow to catch up. So Barrow's right behind Lynch as well. He looks like opted to hold that top line instead of and then come into the bottom line rather than the opposite, which I think that's really, really going to benefit him here towards this long run. As you can see, that front pack has a lot of a gap on the back of him. Looks like the number 5 he's going to be a couple seconds back at this point. So they're going to have to put in a little bit of work, but we do have some stages coming up. Austin, what were our stages again tonight?
Stages for tonight are 40 and 90.
40 and 90? All right, well, you heard it from the man himself. 40 and 90 are going to be our stages. As we're approaching lap, 16? Obviously, like I said, we're going to see tires starting to fall off. Barrow starting to catch up a little bit. Able to close that gap on the 33. These guys are really pushing it. It does look like Coonan was able to get a little bit more of a gap, but the 12 fell off a little bit. So it looks like the 33 is looking to pass the 12 at this moment. Barrow still riding that high side, though. These guys are doing great. Yeah, we're not seeing a whole lot of contact between any of the drivers. We did see a couple contacts between the wall, but in all honesty, these guys are doing an amazing job out there just trying to run their own races. We got 21 drivers out there tonight. That's a good number to have out here at Charlotte. So happy that many people turned out tonight. Obviously, it is going to be a crowd favorite. It does look like that Curtis Chabron is in the pits for some reason. Not sure, he might be opting in for that early pit stop. Let's see what he's got going on here. He got dropped. He is coming back out onto the track, so it was an early pit stop for him. Let's hope that plays out for him. As we got Ellswick doing the same thing. So it's got to be some kind of strategy that these guys are going to be going with as far as making it to the end. '85 pushing hard on the outside right there. Raymond Hammond trying to take that 9th spot away from McCabe of the 35. These guys have been racing together for quite some time. They know how to race with each other, so they're definitely going to give a little bit of room. McCabe for in and out, street limit for Hanneman. But the respect is still going to be there from experienced drivers racing for a long time with each other. These guys are still out there putting on a hell of a show, doing a great job. I have to admit, I'm impressed. As we have a bunch of drivers now opting into pit lane.
I live my life searching for the light, been learning to fight through the darkness. I'll get this right, we were born to shine, and we still got time, it's not hopeless. Don't look now, here comes that awful feeling, my walls are caving in. Heaven, I can see my ghost on the ceiling, let me breathe again.
Definitely coming up on that point where most drivers need to pit now unless they're stretching out to the stage. If you don't, you do risk getting caught in a weird pit cycle. So probably going to see some of these drivers empty in and the rest hang on till 40.
Yeah, that pit fuel cycle in this, if you start to fall off because of tire wear too much, you're going to start to see that time. And once that time starts to tick down, them drivers are catching you every single second. So you got to maintain not only the understanding of when to go in for tires at the right moment so they don't continue to catch you, but also to extend that fuel as long as possible. Well, we were going to have the 99 up here, but it doesn't look like he's coming in. I am waiting maybe possibly for the 21 of Whitaker from the Truck Series to come see us.
Hey, we'll take anybody we can get. Either way, I am impressed by what I'm seeing so far.
Oh, 100%. 100%. As a race director and as the race controller, this is a beautiful night for you. These guys are 27 lap down, and they're looking like professionals out there. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, this is everything we could ask for coming in to this race, and I'm very glad it is looking like a lot of these drivers were able to put some laps in, or if they weren't, they're good fakers or they know the track well. This is some great racing so far. We are starting to see the field spread out quite a bit, which is definitely helping with the lack of collisions we're seeing here. But coming off this next restart and definitely the final restart stage, I have a feeling we might see a little bit more than we are currently.
Oh yeah, no. Once that stage pops up, that's another notch of pressure, right? So they know, hey, quarter of this race is already gone. So they're going to be either under pressure to maintain points or they're going to be under pressure to try to get that win. But either way, wow, so far.
Yeah, I can agree. Last thing you want to do on one of these stage restarts is lose a spot or two because you're a little slow on the restart there. So I got a feeling we're gonna see some itchy throttle feet there, and maybe a jump or two. But I don't know. Yeah, again, very impressed, very happy with what I'm seeing. These guys are giving us a great show.
Well, it looks like coming out of the pit, Coonan is now almost 3 seconds ahead of Fontaine, and Barrow has actually followed up with Fontaine. at only, what, 0.3 behind him. So looks like Barrow and Fontaine are going to have to make sure that they save those tires to the end of the stage. I'm interested to see who's going to opt to pit at the stage and who's not.
Yeah, and I mean, again, that's going to tie down to how they save their fuel and how they took the racing line. I know some of these middle of the pack to back of the pack drivers are, you know, potentially just kind of riding it out right now and letting their tires do what they want to do as they take it a little slower around the track and don't necessarily race for those stage points. And I know we have a couple drivers that are, you know, already won in and punched their playoff ticket, so may not be as concerned about burning up the tires and racing for that hard stage finish early on. But we may see them with an advantage as they keep those nice clean tires towards the end of the race, and the others may start to struggle. Well, have to find out coming through these stages.
Actually, McMillan up into the wall again a little bit. Looks like he's having trouble with that 3 and 4. Oh, he just tapped it again going into 1 and 2. He's going to have to watch out for that. Because I'll tell you, pitting when you're ready to pit is different than pitting when you're not ready to pit. And if you leave your tires on and you accidentally change your tires when you're not supposed to, that's your race. If you don't have those fresh tires, it's a wrap.
Absolutely, and especially for those drivers that are going to be they're already extra stressed just trying to make it through this race, finish well, grab those points or grab that win. You also have the stress of messing up your pit strategy.
Coonan just pitted, and Barrow just pitted again. Dustin Haynes as well. Shane Cochran. McCabe now takes the lead. McCabe has now lapped the entire group. And, wow. McCabe and Logan Wilson are the only two people that have not pitted yet. Oh, and we have a caution. Thomas Coonan has crashed. Let's go take a look and see what happened. Was it as he came out the pit? Oh, it was. Oh, he gassed it and came up onto the racing surface on accident. Well, that is going to throw the first caution for the night. Let's see how that shakes out, because that gives McCabe and Logan Wilson a chance to pit a lap ahead of everybody else. Just a little bit too much gas on that one, unfortunately, but like I said, that is going to put a lot of people at a disadvantage. And as that yellow came out in the middle of a pit, like a pit strategy, man, I don't know who's all going to come out of this a lap down. So it looks like we have several drivers a lap down. That is going to bring a lot of our drivers that were towards the back up towards the front. And it's going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 drivers a lap down. Very interesting to say the least. That is going to make things very, very tense for the end of this race. I tell you that right now. what I am happy about is that caution wasn't damage or somebody being taken out of the race. It was just a slight spin, but man, that is going to shake this race up exponentially. And that is going to ruffle some feathers because now Coonan was able to get out in front of the other drivers that were a lap down and get the lucky dog, and that puts him back on the lead lap. He is going to wind up getting an EOL if he claims that caution, which he should be claiming that caution. We'll see if that happens. But man, that makes me super nervous for not only the restart, but the end of the race. Lights are off that pace car. We're about to go green flag. Logan Wilson of the 76 on the inside. Bryson Fontaine of the 12 on the outside. 17 of Sprouse behind him. And then we got Michael Boone in the 9. As we get to the restart zone, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Green flag, green flag. Oh, we got a spin out immediately. The number 12 of Fontaine takes out the 66 into the wall. Oh, no. That is not what we wanted to see. But let's go ahead and take a look. It looks like the 12 might have started in a lower gear and came out and just smacked that wall. Looked like it got the 66 out into the wall a little bit. Not too much damage on the 66, thank God. Looks like Barrow was also involved into that somehow. Oh, Barrow got tore up. And that Klaus also crashed. Menchaca was involved in that. Campbell, the 41, the 32. Wow, that is a lot of drivers involved into that caution. We're going to go ahead and go back live and see what's happening.
Yeah, definitely not a clean one. However, both cautions so far have been claimed, and that second caution is going to be our stage.
Well, you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be our stage right there here at Charlotte. The stage number 1 is going to be Shane Cochran, McCabe in the 35, Logan Wilson of the 76, Michael Boone in the 9, and Wesley Lynch in the 33 to take them stage points. Yancey Motorsports looks like a clean race at Charlotte. Yeah, we're getting there, man. It's working itself out. It's definitely an amazing race so far. Very, very interesting with all those drivers going a lap down so early in the race. But we're hoping that everybody's able to get caught back up towards the end here.
And I feel like this is karma for talking about how great this race was going.
Nah. If you can't talk about how great the race is, why have a great race?
I'll take that.
I understand
I'll
the
take
stigma behind it, but in all honesty, if it's a great race, why not talk about it? And again, up still, even after the first caution or the second caution that we've already had, it's still been a great race. These guys have come out and looked like professionals this whole time. It was, simple caution the first time, but unfortunately there was a lot of contact in that second one. But again, these guys are out here putting in a lot of work, putting in a lot of time and effort in these cars and on these tracks. to make sure that these guys can show you what it's all about, and they're all appreciated for that.
Oh, absolutely. Just always a shame to see that fast repair go on the first stage.
I just got a crash report from Whitehead, but the pace car, the lights are off the pace car, so we can't switch over right now to find out what happened with that. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we can. It looks like nothing to me, but let's get back live. Lights are off the pace car. These guys are about to go green flag. 86 is Shane Cochran up front. He is actually the singer of our rendition for the national anthem. That's who you heard earlier. Looking good out there in that number 30 or in that number 86 car with McCabe on the outside in that 35. Logan Wilson with the follow-up in the 76, and then behind him is going to be Michael Boone. These guys are going to get restarted in the restart zone here in a second, and we're about to go green flag here at Charlotte. As we get started, these guys, with Shane Cochran jumping up like almost three car lengths, and then we have the outside started a little late, unfortunately, but man, these guys, is that another car out on the track in front of the leaders? Oh, the 41 of Brom is coming back onto the track now. Let's hope this doesn't cause any problems, but it looks like he is going to be up to speed, so I don't think it's going to cause any kind of issues. Oh no, looks like the 76 of Logan Wilson was into that outside wall a little bit. He's got Boone right on his backside. Or, I'm sorry, McCabe on his backside. And these guys are 3 wide, 2 back. These guys are pushing really, really hard on this restart. Oh, we had some contact. It looked like Barrow out there touched the wall a little bit. Logan Wilson with a little bit of a blink there for a second. Let's hope that doesn't become a problem for him. But it's Shane Cochran out there putting on a show. So as we come into the playoffs, guys, we've had a beautiful season, a long season. As we come into the last stretch into the GEC Season 5, who is your, like, you know what? He's going to take the championship this year. Who you got, Austin?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to fight that 85 car ever since he has set his gaze upon our league, and it has been amazing to watch him race every single time he shows up and gives us his all. And I know he practices for this. He practices for some of his other leagues. He is a racer through and through. And as much as it pains me, because I know NPC is always going to be my favorite team, and y'all are having one heck of a year is what I'll call it. Man, it's kind of hard to argue with the 85 not having a solid chance at taking another individual championship, especially with how he's been performing. And I know he's going to put in the hard work, so if he does not end up taking the championship, it is not going to be because he did not try hard enough.
You are not wrong. Barrow down into that outside wall for some reason. Something just happened. Barrow limping into the pit, unfortunately. Let's see if we can take a look and see what happened.
Looks like possibly some contact with the 52 on the rear quarter panel, sending him inside there. But because he was able to stay to the inside, no caution was thrown.
Oh, man. That is terrible. I hate to see that for Joe, man. We really wanted to see him out in the winner's circle tonight, but I don't know if it's going to be his night after that.
Well, depending on damage.
Fast repair.
Yeah, we'll have to see how much the damage sets him back. We still have plenty of racing, plenty of lucky dogs for him to catch up and get back on the lead lap if he can get out here quick enough. But the longer he has to stay in that pit, the farther and farther away. And the more he's going to have to rely on Talladega, which no racer wants to rely on Talladega.
As I'm sure he is upset with the 52 for that one. That I'm sure we're going to see something in the post-race vending for that. These guys are double file in that front pack. They're not letting anybody go. It looks like now McCabe has taken the spot away from Shane Cochran, but Shane Cochran is fighting tooth and nail to maintain it. They are side by side, 3 deep, going into turn 1 and 2 right now. These guys are pushing really, really hard. Looks like Barrow is not coming out of the pits. I think that might be his night, unfortunately. I hate to say that. But it looks like McCabe has taken it from Shane Cochran, and Wilson has now caught up as well.
Yeah, we got a pretty solid lead back that is nice and compact. Always great to see this deep into the new stage here. Plenty of time to go.
We got Herman in the chat. What's going on, buddy? Looks like Logan Wilson is going to maintain that front spot there for a second. He is starting to pull away from those back drivers. Shane Cochran is now in second place with McCabe right behind him on the outside. Man, these guys are like double file all the way through. It's crazy. These guys are doing a great job. Not only that, the stream looks amazing. I'm so happy I could fix that for everybody. It looks like Logan Wilson is actually starting to pull away a little bit, but Shane Cochran is not going to let him get away that easy. He's only 0.25 back. Looks like Barrow is still in the pits, unfortunately, with that damage from the contact with the 52. And these guys are starting to single file out a little bit more. They're less side by side than they are actually just riding in a single line. Looks like Wilson is out there putting on a show now. as it jumps us to the back a little bit, and then in the middle with McCabe and Coonan out there fighting it out. Ooh, that was almost 3 wide going into turn 1. So we got the number 4 in the booth. This is Jamie. You got a copy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Man, we seen all of it. I know that's definitely not what you were looking for tonight, unfortunately.
No.
So, and from the way I seen it, you know, it sort of looked like you were turned around coming out of 1 and 2. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I got hooked.
There was nothing you could really do. It just sucks the caution didn't actually come out, but I don't think it would have really mattered because you had to use your fast repair on the accident before that.
Yeah, on the restart where people, I guess, you know, they like starting first, and then I guess they blowed the tires off of it. I don't know what happened there, but then I was behind Campbell then, and I jumped to the outside because everything kind of checked up. I thought it was the bottom line checking up. Well, then when I get to the outside, I see a wad up of cars right there in front of me, so there was nothing I could do.
Yeah.
And then I had to use my fast repair there, and then, you know, just getting hooked there. I don't know.
Well, either way, man, it sucks to be in that position. How much time you still got left?
I got about 3 minutes left.
3 minutes? All right. Well, we look forward to seeing the rest of your race, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Unfortunate for the number 4, but he is going to get back out there. No quit in the name Borrow.
No, sir. NPC needs him.
Yeah, he's the only driver out there for NPC tonight. Logan Wilson still out front with Shane Cochran following up right behind him. They are now side by side. Shane Cochran is like, nuh-uh, you're not getting away today. So 1 and 2 now side by side, fighting it out, trying to get that first spot. We'll switch it. Not a lot of position changes at the moment as Shane Cochran tried to take that spot, wound up falling back a little bit, and now Barr has taken that second position, looking for the first spot to take away from Logan Wilson. Oh, and as we have a driver opting to go into the pit, Shane Cochran now dropping in to go in for that pit. You said stage 2 was what?
Next stage is 90.
90. Alright, so we still got a good clip to go. So Cochran's going to have to make it 22 laps on those tires. Let's hope he can manage that. As the number 94 Barr is starting to run down Wilson a little bit, putting that pressure on. Wilson was been able to lead all these laps so far after he took that spot from Shane Cochran. But there's still a lot of promise out here. These guys, once they re-rack, anything could happen. So now we have a bunch of drivers that I think have opted into the pits and now have come back out. That's going to shake things up a lot, but we're going to see our leaders probably go in here soon. Lynch, he's not that far behind actually from our leaders. He's only 2 seconds and gaining. So his tires might not be as bad off. So if those leaders pit, that's going to give Lynch the opportunity to get out there and lead some laps. But Lynch has got to be careful because Bryce Fontaine is right behind him. Crossing into lap 72 right now. We're still out here with the front people. We have 5 people that still have not pitted yet. Logan Wilson, Barr of the 94, Lynch of the 33, Fontaine of the 12, and 85 of Hanneman. Like we were talking about before, I bet you he's going to come out here with some kind of weird strategy and be up front before we know it.
Absolutely, and that comes down to that practice we've been talking about. He's got that edge. He knows what he's doing at all times, and that definitely helps him.
And thank you very much, Scott. Thank you. I found out what was going on, man, and I'm happy to put on a better broadcast for everybody. Alrighty. We still have 3 drivers that have not pitted yet. Fontaine has went in, but Lynch, Hanneman, and Wilson still have not opted to go into the pits yet. We have, what, 15 more laps to go before the end of the stage. Do you think Wilson's going to be able to? Nope, Wilson's coming in now. And as we have McMillan tapping that wall, looks like Lynch is going to opt in as well. But Hanneman, nope. He's going to definitely not be opting in. He's going to want that point for the lead lap. And he's going to go ahead and get that. So as Hanneman leads without being able to pit yet, he will most likely being able to pit now. As we got Barrow coming back out onto the track as we speak. Let's hope he fixed all that damage. He definitely had one of the faster cars tonight, man. I am really super excited to see him back out there. But Hanneman's still our leader with no pit yet. Oh, and as he goes in now, like I said, he stayed out there for that point. So that's going to go ahead and give the lead to Bryce Fontaine up front at the moment as he's going to pass Hanneman here in a second. And Bryce Fontaine does take that spot as Hanneman starts to drop back a little bit. We have Fontaine, Coonan, Cochran, Wilson, and Barr to top out our top 5 at the moment. But these guys are within 2 seconds of each other. No, Barr is actually a little bit further back. But Fontaine, Cochran, Coonan, Cochran, and Wilson are all within a second of each other. With only 12 laps to go in this stage, it looks like these guys are going to be shuffling out a little bit differently during this. Number 23, Coonan trying to chase Fontaine down, but he's got to be careful because Shane Cochran is still right there. And Barrow back out on the track behind the 66, seeing what he can do. He's definitely got some speed out there on those brand new tires, man. I'm expecting to see him pass a few cars. But it looks like everybody seemed to be relaxed and separated. Having too cautious so far. Man, I'm telling you, easy night for you, bro.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, this second stage has been one to admire for sure. And we're definitely seeing some of the strategies become more apparent for some of these cars. But we are coming up on the final stage caution here. So, again, I keep saying we're going to see something spicy. I don't know. We haven't seen too much yet, but we keep inching closer and closer. And this is the last chance for some of these guys to get the points they're looking for on an easier track.
Well, and we have a shout out in the chat also for Barrow. Respect for Barrow from Gallman out of the Truck Series. Hate to see you got spun. No, and we definitely didn't want to see that for him tonight, and especially NPC. That's going to put a damper on the end. But really, honestly, he's still got Talladega to go, and I know he's excited raring to go for that one. But Fontaine's still managing to stay out front of everybody else. He is now 1.5 seconds ahead of Coonan. So he has got a significant gap coming into this second stage as we are only 6 laps away. Coonan is trying his dangest to stay right where he's at, but he is just still 1.5 behind. But like I said, Logan Wilson is not that far behind him, and Shane Cochran is now dropped to 4th place, but he is still right on everybody's tail. Four laps to go on our stage. Oh, it's a little late, but we forgot to do Who's Your Pick. Austin, who's your pick? Well, I'm going to go ahead and go with my original pick for this race and that I considered in the beginning, and it's going to be Barrow no matter what. So, 100% go number 4. But we are getting down to the nitty and gritty, but it looks like Coonan keeps falling back to Bryce Fontaine, one of our newest drivers out there. Now he is 2.2 seconds behind. And Coonan is now been passed by Logan Wilson of the 76 car. So the 76 now takes that second spot, and he's going to be chasing down Bryce Fontaine himself.
All right, final 2 laps to go here before the stage.
Yeah, we missed who's your pick. I did mine while you were gone. Who's your pick, Austin?
Ooh, you know, I'm gonna give one to Coonan, who has showed up since coming up from the trucks and has really showed us a different class of racing for somebody who we consider new, though I don't know too much about his background, but he has really shown up and shown out among a bunch of very talented drivers that we have here at GEC.
Yeah, and the strength of the field out here is well over 2,000. So these guys have a lot of work put out for them. Oh, and we have a yellow flag for our stage, ladies and gentlemen. The leading out for the stage is going to be Bryce Fontaine, Logan Wilson, Thomas Coonan, Shane Cochran, and Mr. Barr are going to be your stage winners. So as we sit here for our stage caution, let's go ahead and bring up somebody for an interview real quick. We'll go ahead and bring up the 85 of Hanneman. I want to see what happened, how he dropped back so far after that pit. So we got a link with the 85, Jamie and Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
You got a copy?
Hey, brother. So we seen you going around, and I told these guys, I was like, no, he ain't going to pit. He's going to get that point for that lead lap. But after that lead lap, it looked like you fell back almost 20 seconds. What had happened back there?
I pit. I had only one lap of fuel.
Oh, so when you pitted, you were already that a good distance behind the lead pitters.
Oh yeah, I was before pit cycles. I was I think I was 13th.
Okay.
Currently where I'm at right now, so it's not looking good tonight. It's car is really loose. The steering, like, it's not the car is loose. It's just the steering rack. I got nothing right now. It's I'm really free, so I'm kind of just trying to stay alive tonight and keep the car clean, and hopefully at the end of the race I can find something. I think I found something on that top line right now, but it's definitely it's been a struggle tonight. So,
well, and again, obviously you come out and put on a hell of a show every week, winning, taking home last race as well, punching your ticket into the playoffs, making sure that your spot is secured. That's your first win, right?
Second win.
Second win. Okay, so you've already punched your ticket. You weren't worried about that. But again, you know, obviously with 2 races to go, these guys are all pressurized up for trying to get their ticket punched. And in all honesty, these guys are definitely keeping it very, very clean out there for having so much pressure on the track.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple people that are trying to be overzealous right now, where the lines are changing and people are diving it in. And you know, I wasn't too happy with how the first stage went with myself and a couple of the drivers, but I feel like our last stage now, and got a different strategy than most of the other drivers, so I'm able to keep the car clean, and hopefully it turns out good for us tonight.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to you and Street Limit out there tonight, and hopefully we see you in the winner's circle tonight, Hanneman.
Awesome. Thanks, Jamie.
You got it, brother. All right, so that was an interview with Hanneman. Looks like the pace car lights are going to be coming off right now, and we are about to be going around for our last lap in this stage caution. This will be our last stage, so these guys are going to have what? It looks like 56 laps of straight racing. Things are definitely going to wind up shaking out towards the end here. I can guarantee it.
I have no doubts in my mind about that one.
All right. Coming around from the last turn right now. Turn 3 and 4, going into turn 3 and 4 out of the back stretch for the green flag for the hopefully the last time tonight. Here we go, green flag racing. Bryce Fontaine on the inside, Logan Wilson on the outside. Bryce Fontaine gets a nice little jump, about 2 car lengths, but they're also going to have to worry about Thomas Coonan right behind him as he's jumping onto the inside, trying to take that spot from Logan Wilson. Shane Cochran is still in that 4th spot, looking to punch his ticket tonight, so he is going to be relentless after this stage. Let's see what these guys can do to maintain their tire wear coming around. A little bit of contact, it looked like, between a couple cars coming out of 3 and 4. But that is a very exceptional restart from these guys. Thomas Coonan looks like he is now taking that front spot. Bryce Fontaine is now falling back. Shane Cochran, there are now 3 wide going in 1 and 2 for that first spot. Ladies and gentlemen, this is crazy. Let's see what happens here. Thomas Coonan sitting in the middle. Shane Cochran on the outside. Shane Cochran does take that first spot away. Let's see if he can maintain it here with the 23 down low. And he does. He does. He jumps out front and is able to maintain it in front of the 23 and the 12. Really exciting racing here in the last part of the beginning part of stage 3. I mean, this is it. I mean, other than Talladega, I mean, your chances are here. They are now again 3 wide. It looks like going into, no, almost 3 wide going into turn 3 and 4. But now Shane Cochran is starting to gain a little bit of position on these guys. So he's able to create that gap for himself. He's now feeling that pressure relieve a little bit, and he's going to be able to run his own race. Oh, a little bit of contact right there with that 85 and Logan Wilson of the 76. Oh, the 76 touches the wall again. That's going to slow him down a little bit. It looks like Barr is right behind them, chomping at the bits for somebody to do that again so he can pass him. Coonan catching up to Shane Cochran, closing that gap a little bit, but he's still able to maintain that front spot at the moment. He's only 0.2 in front. But it doesn't look like Bryce Fontaine is going anywhere either. These guys are all right there. Now they have Raymond Hanneman up there behind Logan Wilson. Logan Wilson is now taking that 4th spot away. Hanneman in the 5th spot. It looks like now Barr is on the outside of Hanneman. They're going door to door. Barr trying to take that 5th spot away from Hanneman. And he does. Looks like the 24 of Curtis Saban and Lynch side by side trying to jockey for position. And it's going to be given to Curtis. These guys are running a close race. Logan Wilson trying to take that 3rd spot away from Bryce Fontaine, and he does look like he is pulled up in front of him a little bit. Bryce Fontaine is going to lose that position to Logan Wilson. Logan Wilson chomping at the bits to try to get up front. Dropping down below Coonan as well. Logan Wilson, bold, brave, side by side with Coonan at this moment, right behind Shane Cochran. He's trying to take that 2nd spot away now. Where did all that speed come from? Oh, and as he drops back a little bit, he is not able to take that spot, and he's even going to get passed for that 5th position, it looks like. Yep, Logan Wilson has taken that 5th position, 4th position back. Joseph Barr is in front of him in that 3rd position in the 94. And these guys are putting on a hell of a race, guys. Cochran's now keeping that gap in front of those guys. Thomas Coonan right behind him. Let's see if Cochran's strategy on his line is going to work better than the 23. 23 looks like he's got Barr behind him with a 94, looking to get that 2nd position. He's probably going to drop low now, be side by side with Coonan. Let's see if he can take it away. Oh, side by side, 12 in the 76 as well. Oh, looks like Coonan up in the wall a little bit. You don't want to see that. He was... Oh, we got contact up on that front, into the wall. 24 into the wall a little bit. Wow, these guys are killing it right now. Five of them jockeying for position right there. Cochran able to gain a little bit of distance to relieve that pressure up. These guys are fighting behind him, so they're going to lose a little bit of time to him. Very important race in this season, ladies and gentlemen. And they are going to go 3 wide. Coonan 3 wide. They're able to pull it off with the 24 and the 94, with Coonan coming out front. Trying to get a little bit of that lost time back. I don't know how much damage that caused to the right front of his car when he tapped that wall, but it doesn't look like much. As we're into 111 laps, ladies and gentlemen, with only 150 laps, these guys are making it look easy. It looks like they're starting to single file out a little bit better. Shane Cochran still got that gap on everybody. Bryce Fontaine is right back there, though. looking to see what he can do. As we've seen already, Bryce Fontaine has incredible speed, but Cochran his line seems to be powerhousing around this track and keeping those tires cool. But with everybody single filing out, we'll see what happens. Looks like the 94 on the inside of the 33 of Lynch. It looks like Lynch is starting to creep his way into the top 5, and he does. I think that's the first time for him in the top 5 tonight. So he's not going to want to give that up here towards the end of this race. We're going to start to see pit strategies come into play here soon. .21 drivers still in this race. Started with 21 drivers. That's awesome to see. No huge craziness yet, except for that one caution that caused the stage. With only 35 laps to go in this race. Like I said, we're going to start to see pit strategies play in here in the next 10 laps. Cochran is now 2 seconds ahead of Coonan. Nope, that would be 1.1 seconds at the moment. But Bryce Fontaine is right behind Coonan, only 0.2 behind him. And then Logan Wilson following up, so they're all pretty close. But Shane Cochran right now out here putting on a show. If he can make this work and get into the pits, he may be able to take this home tonight. .94 right behind that 33 of Lynch, trying to take that spot back in the top 5. But it looks like the 94, it has the other problems with the 24 down low. 24 of Curtis Sabron, he is definitely trying to get into that top 5 as well. And we got Barrow right there behind Braun. This is going to come down to the wire as far as fuel and tires. Because this will be the last pit. As long as it goes green, we're in for a hell of a race. As Coonan was able to close that gap a little bit, Bryce is now fighting back and forth with him. They're side by side. That's going to give Cochran another chance to try to get that gap going again. But they are not in that pit window yet. They need to keep going because they still need, what, six laps at least to be able to complete. And I wasn't wrong, that definitely dropped Coonan back a little bit. But it looks like they're starting to catch up now that they're single file. Most likely Cochran will be opting in to go in here soon. I mean, he is fighting to maintain that distance. He's doing a great job of it.
Oh, absolutely. We're seeing some beauty out of Shane Cochran, which I know we usually see later on in races, but he is commanding this final stage.
We have a bunch of drivers that now have opted into pitting. So it does look like we are within that pit window. A bunch of drivers just left pit lane, actually. But Shane Cochran is still maintaining that gap. He will have to pit soon. But he has nothing to worry about other than Bryson Cochran, or Bryson Coonan. So as they run into some lapsed traffic right now, McMillan's going to opt into going down low. Hopefully he doesn't make contact. Nope, and they are able to clear that lap traffic, no problem. But I can bet Cochran's going to plan to come in here very, very soon. And as his gap has now been halved by Coonan, so Cochran has opted into pitting. That's going to leave Bryce Fontaine. He's going to be pitting now as well. And that's going to put Chris Campbell up front in the lead at the moment. So Chris Campbell, Raymond Hanneman, and Caleb Ellswick have not opted to pit yet. I believe this is going to be the first lead laps for Campbell as well. As these drivers are starting to filter back out for the last part of this race, we have 25 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a super exciting race up until this point. I could not be prouder of these guys, Austin.
Oh, heck yeah, man. This is better than even I could have imagined for the second to last race, and with it being Charlotte eating up these tires. I mean, I don't want to have to eat my words with 23 laps to go here, but I'm very impressed with these drivers. They are giving it their all. They are racing hard, and they are keeping it clean, something we don't see very often.
Campbell now opting into pit. I imagine Ellswick is going to be in there too. Ellswick does opt into pit as well. Oh no, that's the 68 of McMillan. So Ellswick is now pitting, but Raymond Hanneman still out on the track, still going strong. He is currently the only person that has not pitted in this race, or in this stage. And Caleb Ellswick comes out of the pits, and Chris Campbell as well. McMillan. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to see where it shakes out with Logan Wilson up front currently, Thomas Coonan, and Shane Cochran in your top three. Logan Wilson has actually got a good distance on Coonan right at the moment with only 22 laps to go. He's gonna have to work for it. But Coonan has Shane Cochran right behind him, so he is gonna have a lot of pressure. Bryce Fontaine still in that fourth position, but he has fallen back after that pit stop a little bit. So I'm hoping he's going to be able to catch back up, but he is definitely going to be looking at a top 5. So I don't know if you know, but Shane Cochran and Thomas Coonan are on the same team. And they are going to be helping each other try to get up front and to take this win. And I imagine since Coonan already has the win, he is going to allow Cochran to take the checkered flag to punch his ticket into the playoffs.
I can definitely see that happening. Racing Edge, one of the newer teams to join or form during this season. Two very dominant drivers on that team that have showed up and showed out just about every week.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of experience from Cochran. Out of the 5 seasons Cochran's been here, man, he's not opted to be in a team. Now that he finally has, these guys are a dominating force. And we knew that was going to happen. He's been tried to be recruited by NPC, by In and Out, or IT and Out. He's been tried to be recruited by Street Limit. I mean, everybody's tried to recruit Cochran. They know he has the speed to be able to do it. It looks like Logan Wilson has lost that time to Coonan. Coonan is now right behind him. He's going to have to figure something out, and fast. These guys are cruising. He's now going to be on the outside of Wilson. Oh, and Wilson goes around. Up into the wall. No caution comes out.
Wow.
That is going to cause some damage and some contact with Barr as well. Or that wasn't Barr. That was Fontaine. So now we have the 2 teammates out front. 1 and 2, Thomas Coonan and Shane Cochran. Cochran opting for that top side. Try to save a little bit of tires. 16 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen, and this is definitely a heated race. We're going to go ahead and ride around with Shane Cochran for a moment and see what he sees riding behind Coonan. Riding that bottom line, I got a strong feeling that Coonan's tires are going to start falling off a lot sooner than Cochran's, because Cochran's exit is going to be a lot cleaner than Coonan's coming off of that bottom side versus the top side. As you can see, that speed that Cochran's gaining, he's just able to come out of the corner so fast because he's dropping in. "13 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen." It does look like Osborne of the number 1 car is not able to complete the race for some reason. I'm not sure what happened there, but he is going to be out. Barrow out there putting it out, just trying to get as many laps out there as he possibly can, doing an amazing job for NPC. only 10 to go, and we still have a fight out front between Coonan and Cochran. As they run into some lap traffic there, it looks like they're going to be passing Whitehead. Whitehead on the outside, and they're going to successfully make that move. Cochran looks like he's looking to the inside of Coonan, seeing if he could take that spot away. I can tell you though, that first caution definitely shook up the field. Or that second caution, the one that a whole bunch of cars were involved.
Without a doubt, that definitely took a lot of people out of the race, and we're seeing with 21 drivers starting the race, obviously we have one car that is definitely not completing the race as of this point. But even to that side of things, we only have 12 drivers currently on the lead lap, so definitely an impact there, even this late in the race, from that stage caution coming out from the incident.
It's been said and done. Every beautiful thought's been already sung.
Well, as we're coming, it's about to be 5 to go. So it looks like Shane Cochran has fallen back a little bit, almost a whole second from Thomas Coonan. Coonan's coming up on lap traffic of Haynes in that number 3 car. See how he manages to get around him. Haynes opting to go high to let Coonan by. Still a hell of a performance from our new driver in that number 12 car, Bryce, getting, looks like possibly his first podium with GEC off of his first race. All right, ladies and gentlemen, final lap coming around. Thomas Coonan up front right now, almost by 2 seconds in front of Shane Cochran. It looks like, unless something seriously goes wrong in 3 and 4, that he is going to take this home for his team. And that, what was the name of their team again? Racing's Edge. That's right, Racing's Edge. Racing Edge is one of the newer teams in GEC eNASCAR, and he comes home with that victory here at Charlotte 150 laps later. Very impressive by all the drivers out there tonight. Thank you so much for everybody that came out. We're going to go ahead and get our drivers ready for our driver interviews for our podiums. Give us 1 second and we'll be right back. Alrighty, so we need to pull up Coonan, Cochran, and Fontaine. I'll let Hook fan in here. Just when we're doing our interviews, just mute up. But you're down there with them, and they took it home, so I figure I'll bring you with them. Oh, well, good. He can stay up here live. All right, guys, we're going to go live with the driver interviews here in 1 second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our driver interviews, our podium for the night here at Charlotte after 150 laps of crazy intense racing. These guys made it look easy. So we'll start with our top spot. Another victory for Coonan tonight. Coonan, 23, how's it feel? Take us through it.
Honestly, this win is probably the best win out of all the ones I've had so far. Being able to do a 1-2 with Cochran, that was absolutely amazing. We ran a really great race, and I know I ruffled a little bit of feathers out there, and I'm sorry for that, but I really wanted to help get this 1-2 going, and we raced hard for it.
Well, you guys definitely came out and put it all on the line, and we were hoping to see maybe Cochran push it out. I don't know if Cochran has actually already punched his ticket or not, but again, you guys definitely made it look easy. Anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's race?
I'd like to thank working with Cochran, man. He's been one of the best drivers I've ever worked with on the sim, and I'd like to thank my sponsors, MIZ Business and Consulting. They help with funding my endeavors on pro college stuff. I'd like to thank Pit Pass Network. They're great at what they do, and I'm glad they're with me as well. I'd like to thank Rev Limit Workshop as they make some banging schemes for me and Cochran tonight. I'd like to thank my family back at home.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. You guys came out and put it all down. So we look forward to seeing what you guys have in the playoffs, and I'm positive you guys are going to be in there together.
Thank you.
No problem. We're going to go ahead and move on to our second place driver. Almost pulling it off tonight with some of the fastest lap times out on the track. Shane Cochran able to almost lead the majority of the laps tonight. Shane, take us through it. What happened?
Oh, it was just a long race. I thought there'd be a lot more cautions. There were certainly a lot of contact, people getting sideways, everybody able to save it. And then on that last run, we were coming up to the green flag, and I told my teammate, I was like, hey, I'm just going to hug the bottom, save some tire, and plan for the long run. And he said, no, we got to get that fresh air. We got to make the most of this, so let's go. And he was right. It worked out for us, and then we were able to get to pit road together and get off together. We do a little bit of bump drafting there, but when it came down to it, he was faster than me, and I didn't have much right front tire left to battle him at the end. And I thought the 12 car was going to get us, and then he got in the wall a little bit. Great race by him, and really a great race by everybody, keeping it clean. It was fun race with everybody. A couple door bangs, but nothing too bad.
No, it was awesome to see all you guys out there and making sure that you guys were putting on the best show possible for everybody watching, and it's always going to be appreciated. Thank you so much, Cochran. Is there anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's race?
Oh, I think my dad. I know he's in there listening. I didn't get my stream up for him tonight, so he was probably watching the broadcast, listening to the Discord on something else. So I know he's watching. He got me a new coffee cup. I always drink a ceremonial cup of coffee right before the race to stay focused, and it paid off tonight.
Yeah, it sure as hell did. Thank you again so much, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
And as we come down, last but not least, first time racing GEC and gets a podium at that. Bryce Fontaine, take us through it.
Yeah, what a night. Definitely got some airtime tonight. I don't know if all of it was the best, but yeah, man, I haven't raced these cars in a while, and I think the nerves just kind of got to me, right? I mean, debut race, a lot of guys racing for a playoff spot, so I hate that incident there. I think it was at the end of the first stage. I hate that happened, but a little bit of jitters, but it looks like we were able to get it figured out throughout the course of the run and end up with a podium.
No, you guys did a great job coming out here tonight for your first time, and especially with all these experienced drivers. I know Coonan's a little bit newer to the truck series and GEC itself, but you were out there against people that have won multiple races with GEC, and Cochran being one of them. He's one of our top winning drivers. To come out there and put pressure on him, you got what it takes to be out there. So we appreciate you coming out and giving it all you got.
Yeah, it was fun. Again, after that little incident there at the end of that stage, I kind of had to take a step back and just kind of realize, what's at stake and what's going on here. And again, I'm glad I was able to get into a rhythm. I knew some of these guys out here were pretty quick, and some elbows were being thrown, and some good hard racing up there with Coonan and Cochran. We were using each other up quite a bit, and we all managed to hold on to it. So it was definitely a blast. And now we know what we need to do moving forward. So I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, great job to all you guys. Anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's race?
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, want to give a shout out to you guys and being up there in the booth and broadcasting all this action. I do it myself, and I know how hectic it can be at times. Of course, got to shout out the wife for allowing me to spend the time that I do on here, and of course, shout out to everybody here in the league. Shout out to Colby over there at Eternal Racing, eternalracing.com. Get you some fire merch. I actually got it on right now. Shout out to Ray. Again, he's a teammate of mine, and we were able to work together a little bit and get a little bit of strategy going on. So thanks to all those guys, and again, thank you guys for putting this on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the shout out as well. Thank you all for tuning in tonight coming out to Charlotte for 150 laps. And again, thank you all for coming back after the vacation with your families and all those good times. Again, we will see you all next time here at GEC. Over and out.